Scott Hilton, Scott Talks. Today I'm going to talk about my Go bag. This is my backpack I take for traveling. Hey, I get out the door like that when it comes to traveling. We have a couple packing cubes, of course, and a little suitcase. I can get some stuff together. But basically, this guy I've had forever, Chester North Face. Got these little rubber things that help hold things into place. See that little thing there that keeps the umbrella? That umbrella stays there 24/7. Got one for a small water bottle, like a swell bottle, or you can put a regular water bottle in here. I got little hooks, carabiner hooks on things. Oh, I don't have my luggage tag on yet. I'll work on that. I will work on that. Got to have one that's covered up though, that you can't read the name. I got this little red guy. He's got old Band-Aids and Dramamine and Burt's Bees lip balm. I'd hate to look at the date on some of them. But if the need arises, here are the liquids you put on the airplane. Got on here, you got 3 ounces or less. You got your Listerine, you got some hand sanitizer, toothpaste, KY, Cremo, Tide to Go stick, Lysol spray. You need that when you're going to the hotel room. Lysol wipes, if they confiscate that, bring some Lysol wipes. Another toothpaste, because I've run out before. Right, Nico? CeraVe, great daily moisturizing lotion for dry skin. I got that. And you got to have that in a separate bag at the airport, right? You got to pull it out. And they got to look at it. So you got to have that. And that goes in the big area. Oh, and this area got some notepads and pens. I always hate running out of notepads and pens. I've got some duct tape there wrapped around a little thing. Dude wipes. Had those about 10 years. Just used it once the time I tried it out. Okay, some COVID masks. This black microfiber hand towel is my sleep mask. I can get it like this. And if it's a little cold, my head gets a little cold, like this, right? On an airplane or a hotel room, wife's got the temperature down too low. I'm just like, you know what, throw this over my head. Couple masks from COVID, we got that. Got my little tile I safety pinned in here. I just switched to an Apple AirPod thing, AirTag for main keys, the Post-it notes, all sorts of little stuff in here. This guy is what they want on cruise ships now. No surge protectors. They don't like that anymore. And you plug in your HDMI things in here. It doesn't have a C on C. It's IQ brand. It's model A2123, power port 6. I got 6 of them. And you can use stuff like this on cruise ships now, supposedly. If they confiscate it and throw it in the trash, you'll know Scott was wrong. Or they changed the rules or something. I keep that there. Now, there are my gloves. We flew into Canada one time. That was cold. I should have had these out. But it was a quick ride to the hotel. I didn't care. It's a little nippy. Now, I got an extra belt. Can always use an extra belt breaks, my hairbrush. Some trips I've taken my little hair dryer. I got a little red hair dryer. Here's some sneaker balls. I've got sneakers. Actually, shoes are missing. That's what's missing. Hang on. I just washed them. These are Hey Dudes. They're dad shoes. Got your little insole. You can wash the insole. You can wash the shoes. They feel like bedroom slippers when you're wearing them. So I said, well, why not make them my bedroom slippers in hotels and stuff? Because you're walking on those nasty floors barefoot. Yeah, that's not going to be good. And I just washed them. That's why they weren't in the bag. because I wore them to a hotel, and I went out. Got hairbrush here. Don't need two, do I? Yeah, that other one. There we go. What did I throw over there, Nikki? Yeah. This blue bag is for the bathroom. I got a nail file. I'm always picky about my nails getting filed right. A hairbrush. This is a little face scrubber. Nice face scrubber. Very soft. It's by Inner Need. And you can use this in the shower instead of the big loofahs. You know, the loofahs are great, but they have to dry and they're big. They take up space, even the little travel loofah. Yeah, I cut myself. Super glued my piece of finger back on. Box cutting. Spinning around, get my hand was out. I was like, what? And a piece of finger, a little piece, had fallen off. I had to super glue it back on. My wife was like, what did you do? So it seems to be healing nicely. So keeping a Neosporin on it. This guy's got to get changed. But the wonderful thing about these are you could use it like a loofah. You put your body wash on it and you wash and wash up. But the great thing is if your wife's like, well, let's go to dinner. And you're like, huh? And you haven't really taken a shower lately. And you're thinking, you know, I just want to get a shower before I put that deodorant on. You put a little soap on this or body wash or something under the arms, warm water, rinse that off again. Boom, you're ready to go. Put some deodorant on, go. All up in here, get it way up and get it way up. Yeah. And it's great, and it's nice and soft, because my wife got me a bigger one. She said, well, don't you use this if you do a quick wash here in the sink? And I said, okay, and I used it, and it was something from Walmart. It's a big thing, about this big, about the size of my hand. But the bristles were harder, and I was like, don't like it. Well, I like this little guy, so I'll leave it for travel. Duct tape, nose trimmer, not going because I've got two batteries right here and they're not corroding or anything. I'll have to change them out occasionally. Electrical tape. Yeah, you'll see why when you see my electric razor. It's old. I've got electric razor in both bathrooms. In case I don't want to wake my wife up, I can go to the guest bathroom and shave and brush my teeth and kind of get ready early in the morning, and then she can sleep in a little bit without me bothering her. Took a couple decades to figure that trick out. Yeah. Sorry. Got some toothbrushes. Few too many probably. This black bristle one's great for that charcoal toothpaste if you get a hold of that. Nail clippers, picks, floss. Electric shaver, but I also touch up with the razor just a little here, top of the lip, not down below the lip, because if you get an ingrown hair, you got a little pimple thing right on your lip. That don't look good. And a little here and here, because I got this little dot that I think is hair related. So I try to get it right in there. It's just a touch. I don't even bother with shave cream, although I've got some Cremo shave cream that you saw in the little bag, travel bag. So I got that together. This is an Eagle Creek packing cube thing. Great. Yeah, I need that. Let's put that in here. Boom. Okay, we showed you this. Boom. Hat. Got it in Japan. I liked it because it didn't have the little bump on the top. It's just basically if it rains, I can throw it on. It's real flexible. Got it at that XOM, that the Kui cool store that all the kids go to. And it's got multiple floors. They got it at Disney Springs. They got it all over Japan. We went to this giant store. Everything in Japan is like New York, but it's skinnier and smaller, so you have to go up several floors to get to more areas. So they build high, although they don't have the square footage to be big because the city's tight, the streets are tight. The cool thing is everyone's so nice and respectful. And you know, if someone came up to you and talked to you, you better have a red flag on in Japan, because nobody does that. They're out to get you. They're Jehovah's Witness, or they're out to con you, or something's going on. So everyone's really quiet. It's a very respectful city. It's like New York, but no crime. Think of that. Very little crime. I mean, little kids were running across the street to school. And I'm like, where are their parents? What the hell? They're just going to school, getting ready to get on the subway or something, or the bus. The buses are cool because they lean over to help you get on, and everyone's so honest. There's an opening at the front of the bus at the curb so that you get on, and in the middle of the bus so you can get on and you can stand or seat because it crowds up quick. But the people that gets on in the middle, as soon as they're off the bus to get off, they run up front to the driver and they pay before they leave. And I was sitting there watching going, really? Good gosh, you wouldn't see that in New York. They wouldn't even let you on the bus. They wouldn't let you off the middle of the bus. But it was neat, the whole thing just kind of, and kind of leaned down and went down. Basically it went down and made it easy to get on and off. And I was like, well, this is cool. This is really neat. And they had the subways underground, tons of underground shopping and stores that you couldn't see, you didn't know existed. I was like, look at, where's the Starbucks? And I was like, oh, there's a sign. And down the stairs and underneath the building was a Starbucks and some other shops. And I was like, cool. I ate my little breakfast there. I got my tile here. Find my bag. Yep, because I switched out for the Honda. This little red bag is more medical stuff. Metamucil if you get a little problems. Here's some cough drops. I think they're from Japan. I think all this stuff. Yeah, look. Leftovers, gum from Japan. Maybe, yeah, Clorettes. But it's got Japanese writing on it. Cool. Little empty bag. You want to put something there. Protein bars are great. A lot of times when I do pack something, I'm packing protein bars for the trip. So I'll have a snack. I'm big on waking up in the middle of the night and just something to do. If we're in the States, I can look at YouTube with my phone conducting headphones. I love these. They're very comfortable. And earbuds fall out of my ears and they hurt my ears if they're in too long. So that's what that's about. That's why I had those on. Extra C-on-C charging cord. I just usually goes with my tech stuff. But yeah, I would put extra protein bars in here. Take those with me. Have a snack. Here's my electric razor. Here's razor number 3, the oldest one. Still works. It's been charged recently. Look at that electrical tape there and there. Yeah. It's only me. If I get another one, I'll throw it away, I promise. There's some electrical tape. Might need some more. But it does the job. I charged it recently. I keep it charged occasionally. I pull it out and charge it up. Make sure it's still charging. I had one that was even older than this that it wouldn't work unless it was plugged in. So I ended up getting rid of that one. And, dads, if you need a gift for Father's Day, Christmas and all that, and you're not going to get much. You might get a tie if you're lucky. Go for the electric razor. You can shave in the other room. And in times, someone says, what do you want for Christmas? Electric razor. Get another Norelco, get the same plugs, get the same thing. I've got a stand from an older one that fits the one that I've got, and when I need it, just pop it in the stand and go. I don't take the stand with me anymore. I just plug it in and lay it there on the trips. But dads, between that and audiobooks, I love my audiobooks. It gives me a chance to, I'm a little dyslexic, so I love listening to books instead of reading books because it's too much of, feels like work. It feels like when I was in school, I hated reading. And that was the reason. It was a little difficult for me. So I love the audiobooks. And my daughter was like, what do you want for Christmas, Dad? I was like, or birthday, birthday. And I said, Audible subscription. And I didn't know what I'd get, a month, 6 months, a year, whatever. Didn't matter. If it was, that would be the, get 1 credit, that's equivalent of 1 book. That's good. That's better than I was doing. Anything will do. And if someone else gives you an Audible credit, then you've got 2 books. All right, that's how Audible works. Then they have some free stuff and some discounted stuff you can buy. And the trick with Audible is, and you can always borrow stuff at the library by Libby. I got a video on Audible books. Guys could go through my playlist and find it. But Libby's your public library, and you can get free books and audiobooks through Libby. And get a hold of a pretty recent book, you know. I mean, most people are already all over the first copies of books, but the recent ones, oops, sorry. The recent ones get checked out quick, but you can put your thing for reservation and they'll let you know. You'll get a little text or email and it'll say, the book's ready. Do you want to get it now? If not, they can get someone else. You go, yes. And then when you're listening, you just turn around and, if it gets to the end, they say, are you through with your book or you just want to renew it? I'll say, well, renew it. And don't be late on that or you'll lose it. So renew the book and you just keep listening for free. Cool, isn't it? And if you were to lose it, you just put it back in for another thing and start listening to another book. It's cool. My wife has me doing some gardening with her garden stuff and all that, watering plants. And every time she plants a plant, that one needs some water. So I give it about 40 seconds. And go around and water stuff and pull the weeds. Now, I've done a good job. I'm a good dad, good husband. So, and I listen to audiobooks while I do that because it's not too noisy. Because if you're mowing grass, it's too noisy to really hear an audiobook. And when I ride my bike, I want to focus on the road. I don't want to be listening to an audiobook. I'll do a podcast because I can half listen to that and pick up on it. I'll do music or I'll do nothing when I'm riding. But, and when I get too close to traffic, it's hard to hear with the bone conducting headphones anyway. But because they're not like earbuds where they're really in your ear, they're vibrating right here. And that's what's cool about it. With the wind blowing hard, on the bike or something like that, or traffic, it can be a little difficult to hear, but that's why music is great or nothing, because you know the songs. You can hear the beat, you can hear it, and you're going down the road. So that's that. And it's great for trips. When I'm sitting there listening to YouTube, I can listen on my bone conducting headphones at 3 o'clock in the morning and eat a piece of drink my water from my water bottle, have my snack from my protein bar, and be listening to an audiobook or a podcast I saved, or watching YouTube if I've got cell service, if I'm not out of country or on some cruise ship somewhere where you don't have any service, and the ship service they sell you is crappy anyway, so you want to bring a book or two audio, just walk around, and you can enjoy that in a quiet room if you want to, or you can just chill to the cruise ship and all the noise and music going on there and have a good time, experience that. Anyway, tech stuff. Oh, we talked about this guy. This is the guy. It's not in my tech bag because it's just quick to get to if you're in an airport or something. All the Velcro stuff on my glove. HDMI, it is not C on C. Maybe they have new ones out now that C on C, but this is what they recommend on the cruise ship. This is my other tech stuff. I got C on C. I got I got the HDMIs to C, a lot of C plugs. I've got hair bows are great for like rubber bands. This Anchor one has a C on C and an HDMI. C on C HDMI. C on C, I got too many. There's 2 HDMIs. Here's a plug in the wall. You can bring these supposedly on cruise ships. And it's good for the US, Japan, and Canada. I wrote that down, supposedly. And you can plug in, there's your C on C, the HDMI, you can have it multiple. And here's some earbuds, if you need those, C on C. Little one, little baby one, earplugs. You can use them with your bone conducting headphones to block out some of the noise if you're somewhere. I do that all the time. And there's a big one for travel. It's from Radio Shack. It's got the European stuff in it. So technically, if you're on a cruise ship, there you go. You're on a cruise ship and they have a European plug. You plug this sucker in and you can start using your American stuff in the European plug, because cruise ships suck when it comes to all that. They will give you, I think I've got one too many of these. Yeah, I shouldn't have this many. But anyway, my wife probably needs one. It couldn't hurt. You might have 1 or 2 plugs on the cruise ship, and you'll be like, hey, where do I plug this stuff in? That's why you need to be ready. This one, my wife said I did it wrong. I shouldn't have had it separate. It should have been with the liquids. And I said, well, this is more solid stuff. And it's 3 ounces, and this is a little thing of American Crew fiber. It's just a high hold stuff, and it's in a little tiny travel thing. And I figured, well, it's small. I'll take it. It's good enough. It's not what I ordinarily use, but it's good enough. Deck of cards I got for Christmas. This guy just got whatever, more masks from COVID times. What do I got here? Not much in this. Little microfiber cloth and thing for a toothbrush. Technically, this doesn't need to be in here anymore. It's probably seen its day. Could load it with protein bars though, couldn't I? Yeah, baby. Oh, these guys. I got 2 Timex watches. They're indigo light. You push the button. It's hard to tell here, but they light up. That one glows a little bit. You can see it. They're battery powered. They're still keeping pretty good time. They're an hour off. I got to change that when I go on a trip. The date I don't worry about too much. On cruise ships, your smartwatch probably isn't going to work real well, so you don't want to wear it. Noted we were going to Puerto Rico on the next cruise, and I was like, that's technically United States territory, and I think Puerto Rico is included on the Verizon plan. I said, I'll ask them, see if I can wear the watch to that. So that would be good, because I've got all these cords. Forgot to show you, I've got a cord for, oh, where are you at? Oh, I know you're here. My watch and my headphone cords should be here. There's my watch. See, there's my cord for my watch. And this magnet right here is the magnet for the bone conducting headphone, the extra one. I ordered an extra so I'd have it for trips and I wouldn't have to pack it and remember it. But yeah, these 2 watches, you sit one out in the bathroom, you've always knows what, you go to the bathroom, what time is it? You can see the time. You're next to the bed, you put one next to the bed, you don't want to wake anybody up, you push the indigo light, it lights up, you can see the watch time. Oh, because you're fiddling, where's my phone? I could touch that, maybe see it, or put it in the nightstand mode. You know, you could have the red light so it doesn't bother you with sleeping. But yeah, you just grab it and push it and you're like, oh yeah, okay. And it's great. You just leave it in the room. You put one in the bathroom, one in the bed, you're good. And if you need to wear one for, you know, you're out and about on a cruise and you don't have access to smart features like you used to because everything's in airplane mode, so you won't get charged by hundreds of dollars by Verizon for roaming fees. You turn it off. You just forget it for a week. You know, if you're gone for 3 days, you're gone for a week, whatever you're gone for, you turn it off. And if you get to a port or you get to a Wi-Fi hotspot, then you can do, you know, something like Facebook Messenger and message your friends or WhatsApp or something like that. We use WhatsApp exclusively in Japan, and we had a SIM card credit for that. And we use that cool little Solace card, that electronic card that they have in Japan. That was cool because we had 2 of us had iPhones and 2 of us had Android phones. My wife had Samsung, and the Solace app works seamlessly with the iPhone. It's just like doot, right before you go on after the subway, you get off. When you're exiting, they have you pay. You just kind of and you go, or you pay when you get on. One of the 2. But it was a very easy system. It was just doot, doot, and off we went. It's kind of like checking your ticket in at the airport. You know, that little scanner of doot, and you go through. And it's easy like that. So that was cool. But yeah, you bring it just a cheap little watch. And that way you don't look like you got any money. You don't want to have any money because you get robbed or something. They know you're a tourist. They don't care. But yeah, I've got that guy. I'll put those there. Not there. Black bag. You might get edited out or filled with protein bars. I just don't need that anymore. That. Yeah. Right. Microfiber cloth, that's good. Toothbrush holder, no, don't need that. Yeah, I may just fill it full of protein bars. But otherwise, no. So, more mask. Don't need all these masks. That little baggie, that always comes in handy. Okay, so that's what we got. Let's see if I can get it to zip closed. I need my watch. Give me my watch. Yep. Yeah, I didn't have those shoes in before. But I've got just about everything, you know, if you want to bring an extra pair of socks or two, or underwear, t-shirt, something you're traveling, you need to do a quick change, you can throw them in here, you got a little room. There we go. Will it go under the seat of the airplane? Not great, not great. I just kind of shoved it on the floor and pushed it in as best I could on that trip to Japan. It's tight anyway. Crazy tight. Oh, hated that part. Good trip though. But my wife was like, "You're next to the window." I'm like, "Cool." Right next to the engine. So the whole night I was like, I ain't just, because if you lean your head over, you're like, and I didn't sleep at all. They were said, when you take long trips, you want to sleep right away, get acclimated to the time zone, and don't have coffee before getting on the airplane because you can't sleep. So I didn't have a coffee, got on the plane, never really slept, don't remember sleeping, all 12 hours, and we went to Canada first, and then we shot across. And going to Canada, I lost my cell phone stuff. I was like, yeah, we could have gone to, and the other party in our family ended up in like Chicago or Washington State or someplace. They are still in the country. And then you have to go through customs again. And you're like, oh my gosh, really? You're entering the United States from Canada. Ugh. It's bad enough to do it once from customs when you come from Japan to, you know what I'm saying? From Japan to Canada, you got to enter customs. Then Canada to the United States, you got to enter customs. That's too many, and you say a couple hundred on the trip, granted. But we were in this long ass line getting back in the United States. I was like, good golly. So be prepared for all that. But yeah, and I can carry this with me. I have it all, it's already packed, it's ready to go. Got the toothbrushes, probably old toothpaste. If it gets too old and tastes weird, just buy another tube of toothpaste, okay? But yeah, I'm ready to go. Ready to roll, rock and roll. So for cruising, travel, just a quick trip to Disney parks, you know, if you're gonna spend the night at the hotel, I just grab this big sucker and bring it in a quick change of clothes or two, and I'm ready. I'm ready. My wife, she's packing, pulling things out of here and there and everywhere. And I'm just like, ready? And she's like, yeah, I know, yeah, I get an attitude. I was like, but it took me years to slowly build this bad boy up, you know? I've had this forever. Black, I always have black because all that stuff gets dirty. She's got this nice luggage that's kind of tan and brown mix, and it gets dirty quick. It gets on the conveyor belts, it gets on the plane, it gets on the floor, and the luggage movers, and it gets dirty quick. And I've got black, but I've got a real distinct, goofy-looking name tag thing. It's from Goofy. That stands out. I got to put a name tag on this guy. That would come in handy, a little identification. Without my name being visible, it has to be covered. It has to be one of those kind of name tags. But like, share, and subscribe if you learned anything. And guys, start building your knapsack. Quick knapsack thing. You throw it on, you're good. Make sure you have, see, it's got this little belt. Oh, my pen. Didn't get it back in here. This is the most important part. Now this here will not go over luggage. It's something you may want to look into for a knapsack. You know, the handle coming up, going through here, but it has this strap on it, and I've got it pinned and zipped. I don't want the thing dangling all over the place, so I pinned it up. But I've got it adjusted so it'll go down the luggage thing so I can take it when it's, so I'm not putting it on my back all the time. I can just put it on my bag and roll it. So I'll have this and this. And this is my carry-on. And then you have your carry-on luggage and you're good, right? And sometimes they'll let you have a fanny pack to add on to it, but you got to be slick to get through. But, you know, and if they tell me to check it for some reason, I'll pay and check it, you know, or I'll have it checked. You know, if you're right to get rid of board, they'll let you check without paying. They just want you to check it because they don't have room for all that crap. And you'll have to go to the baggage and pick it up like you would ordinarily, which is fine. If they got to do that, they got to do what they got to do. As long as you get on the plane and get to where you're going. That's all you care about. Just get me there. Get me there. I won't complain. I promise. Okay. Like, share, and subscribe. Have great travels. Hope this helped a little bit. And have a good day. Bye.